Rob Stallion. He's an admissions person from UW-Platteville, and he's got a story to share with you. And we have, I believe we have some other people popping in later on, correct? So I'll take it
Yes.
over to Rob. If anybody wants, just throw a question. Is it okay if they throw questions in the chat? We can answer them at the end and so on.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And everybody start thinking of some questions now. Maybe write some down write some down next to you so that we can keep the discussion flowing. You all did a wonderful job with UW Superior last week and had lots of great questions. So I expect the same. All right, Rob, I'm done talking.
So I know a lot of you were probably in here before I had to exit and restart my computer, but should I do another introduction?
Yes, please. We had a lot more students pop in since then.
Okay, perfect. So my name is Rob Stallion. I'm an on-campus admission advisor and multicultural outreach specialist here at UW-Platteville. I am an alumni. I went to school here from 2009 to 2013. I got my degree in business administration with a double emphasis in management and supply chain management. I am originally from Cleveland, Ohio. And I know some of you may be like, how the heck did you get here from Cleveland, Ohio? I got recruited to play basketball here. So I played ball here all 4 years, had a pretty decent career. And after I got done playing, my coach asked me if I'd ever thought about coaching. I said no, but I had a couple credits to finish up to get my degree. So I gave it a shot and fell in love with it and haven't been able to stop since. So I'm also currently an assistant men's basketball coach here as well on campus. So I'm pretty uniquely prepared to answer any of your questions, being a former student athlete, and now faculty and staff member. And as Jeff said, just feel free to drop any questions that you guys may have in the chat. And let's get going. I guess I should open up my presentation. Can you give me permission to share my screen?
Oh yeah, I had made you co-host, but then when you left before it stopped. So all right.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you are co-host, and then all right, you should be set.
Cool. Okay, so what we're looking at right here is a snapshot overview of campus. And the first thing that I always see is that there's a ton of vegetation, a lot of green. That's one of my favorite things about campus, especially when it's this time of year. And sorry, I have a new puppy and he's very curious. I love it when it's this time of year and the leaves start changing and things of that nature. I think campus gets really, really pretty that time of year. And campus was founded in 1866. We have over 800 acres of our campus, but we also have 3 separate locations. So here in Platteville, Wisconsin is our main campus, our 4-year institution, UW-Platteville. In Richland, Wisconsin, we have UW-Platteville Richland, which is one of our 2-year campuses. And then in Baraboo, Wisconsin, we have UW-Platteville Baraboo Sauk County, which is our other 2-year campus location. And now we're going to hop into a quick video that has a lot of quick facts and things like that. There's no words, so I'll try to commentate as the video goes on. We have just under 8,000 students here on campus with an average class size of 25, a 20-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So very medium-sized campus, not too big, not too small. As you saw, we actually have over 50 majors here on campus with a ton of minors and even more emphasis to really customize that academic experience for yourself. We really promote hands-on learning here on campus. That's a big proponent of our campuses. As you can see, a lot of these clips, these students are really getting their hands dirty and participating in a lot of things, a lot of hands-on learning. And employers love UW-Platteville graduates because of that, because our professors will not only show you how or teach you how to do something, but then they will show you how to do it and have you do it with your own two hands. Okay. We have a ton of student-run clubs and organizations here on campus, over 200. So we literally have something for everybody. This is the world's largest M. It's right outside of town. There's a little bit of history behind that. So the Platteville area used to be a very, very large mining area. And UW-Platteville actually started off as a mining school. UW-Platteville actually started off as a mining school way back in the day. And then in the 1800s, the mining school here in town, as well as the Wisconsin School of Education that was also here in town, came together to form UW-Platteville. And then in the 1930s, a couple of students from the school went out to Platt Mound right outside of town, stomped out a big M in the snow. The school thought it was such a show of school spirit that we made it permanent with limestones and other rocks. We painted them white. As you saw on the video clip during homecoming weekend, every year we do the lighting of the M event where we light the M on fire and set off fireworks at the top of it. It's a really cool event. Alumni from all over the world come back to participate in the lighting of the M. We Disney has come out and done promo videos of the world's largest M with Minnie and Mickey Mouse, as well as MTV. So that's kind of cool. As you saw in the clip, like we said, our average class size is 25, a 20-to-1 student to faculty ratio. But one of the unique things about Platteville is that you will be taught by 100% faculty. No teachers' aides or teachers' assistants like you would at a larger school like a UW-Madison or UW-Milwaukee or even a Marquette. That leads to really good professor-student relationships, and that can lead to better networking, future jobs, summer internships, undergraduate research, which is a huge proponent that we are pushing for our students on campus now as well. Like I said, we have over 50 majors here on campus with even more minors and a ton of emphasis to really customize that academic experience for yourself. Like I said, for my own major, I was a business administration major with a double emphasis in management and supply chain management. As you can see, we also have quite a few pre-professional programs on our campus, with our top programs being agriculture, biology, business, criminal justice, education, engineering, and industrial technology. We promote a hands-on learning environment here on campus, and like you saw in the video, there were a ton of clips, like I said, of students getting their hands dirty and really doing things, participating in projects, doing labs, service learning, undergraduate research, field work, and of course, student teaching, internships, and co-ops. These are all things that you will be doing throughout your academic career here at Platteville. And then over 90% of our students participate in at least one internship or co-op during their academic career here at UW-Platteville. Okay. In a couple slides, I'll talk about a specific office here on campus that has a huge hand in why 90% of our students do that. Like I said, I'll talk about that in a couple slides. We have a very progressive chancellor here on campus. Chancellor Shields is constantly trying to push Platteville into the future, both academically as well as physically, by growing our campus, by renovating buildings or building new buildings altogether. So some new academic programs that we have on campus: a Bachelor of Business Administration. We already had a School of Business with all of these degrees, but what our School of Business did was they talked to a bunch of different employers, and they talked to them about what they were looking for on prospective employees' resumes. What did those things say? What was that verbiage? They looked at that, and they also talked about, you know, different things that employers were looking for their these prospective employees to know, what kind of skills they would have coming out of college and into the workforce. So with that information, our School of Business, you know, really revamped and reimagined a lot of those majors within that School of Business. So now these are called Bachelor's of Business Administration degrees, or BBAs, in finance, human resource management, integrated marketing, integrated supply chain management, general management, and professional sales. And I believe that they will continue to move more and more of those majors, those older majors, from within the School of Business over to these Bachelor of Business Administration degrees. Okay. Our construction management program has added a construction management emphasis so that it can be picked up by some of the other disciplines within that program. Cybersecurity has been added to our computer science program. Data science has been added to our mathematics program. Environmental science and conservation, I'll actually come back full circle and talk more about that in a couple seconds. But then our mechanical engineering, biomedical engineering emphasis, our mechanical engineering program added a biomedical engineering emphasis, which is super popular on campus right now. Okay. In that top right-hand corner, Sesquicentennial Hall is a new STEM building that we're building on campus. It'll be done fall of 2022. It'll feature brand new smart labs, brand new smart classrooms, more collaborative student space, more undergraduate research space, as well as from an environmental science and conservation standpoint. I'm being told is going to be the most eco-friendly, if not one of the most eco-friendly, if not the most eco-friendly building in the state of Wisconsin. And it's going to feature a really cool green space on the roof of that structure. In the picture below that, we are seeing Babel Hall. That is one of the older buildings on campus, but it is going through a complete internal and external renovation. And so that will feature a new facility for our animal house, which is a facility where we house a lot of our smaller critters that our life sciences majors or life sciences program uses for their classes, research, experiments, and things like that. Once again, it'll feature, you know, some modern smart labs, smart classrooms, more collaborative space and undergraduate research space for students, as well as it'll feature a brand new atrium in that building. So they're adding that. I've seen the specs on that. It looks like it's going to be really dope. We do have 13 res halls here on campus, with 8 dining facilities as well. Of those 13 res halls, 3 of them are our modern suite style halls. Only two of those modern suite style halls are accessible to freshmen. The other one is only accessible to sophomores and higher. Those 2 accessible to freshmen, Roundtree and Bridgeway, are our 2 newest res halls here on campus. Both of those res halls, like I said, are suite style. So there are 4 students per suite, 2 per room in the suite, and you share a bathroom with all 4 people in the suite. Okay. The other 10 res halls are our traditional halls. Those are a little bit older, and those are going to be a little bit more affordable than the suite style halls. Those are like the res halls that like your parents or aunts and uncles or members of your family that have gone to college about my age, who those are the type of rest halls that we stayed in. We shared a bathroom with everybody on our wing. Okay. We have 8 dining facilities here on campus as well. Our main a la carte dining facility is in the bottom or first floor of our student center. It has, so essentially you pay for whatever you put on your tray. So we have our own generic version of B-dubs called Pioneer Hoss. We have our own generic version of McDonald's, Subway, Panda Express, Chipotle. And then we also have our own or another station there, which is kind of like mom's home cooking. So a lot of pasta, mixed vegetables, mashed potatoes and gravy, meatloaf, carved turkey, roast beef, things like that. In Bridgeway, our newest rest hall has our newest dining facility in the basement of it. It's our main all-you-can-eat dining facility. So 1 meal swipe, you gain entry, all you care to eat. You are seeing a picture of that facility on the rightmost picture on your screen. You're actually looking at the salad bar and the panini presses right there. So those are our 2 main dining facilities. We also have a couple coffee shops. We also have Jamba Juice on campus. And then we have 2 facilities that are fairly similar to a gas station mini mart. So they have a small refrigerator section with water, pop, juice, milk, a small freezer section with frozen pizzas, pizza rolls, frozen burritos, microwavable dinners, those type of things, assortment of chips, snacks, and candy, as well as both of those places have a some sort of made-to-order food section there as well. We have over 200 student-run clubs or organizations here on campus. We literally have something for everybody. If you can't find something that you like, love, or want to participate in, really easy to start a student-run club or organization. All you need is yourself, 4 other friends, and 1 faculty or staff member to advise that student-run club or organization. Okay. Campus Programming and Relations, CPR, is the office on campus that essentially puts on 95 to 99% of all of our on-campus events. That includes all of the events during homecoming weekend, concerts, comedians, distinguished lecturers, speakers, any other festivities on campus. Mudfest every year. That is a large club rugby tournament that we host on campus every year. So there are some festivities going on campus that weekend. And then we have 17 Division III athletic programs on campus. And every single one of those home games are completely free and completely free for all of our students to attend as long as they have their student ID. All of those campus events are completely free for our students to attend as long as they have their student ID. Okay. Our athletic facilities, we just spent $15 million expanding our athletic complex, and that entire complex is completely accessible for students to utilize with their student ID. Okay, and the fee to be able to use that athletic facility is already included in your tuition fees, so it's not a separate bill that you that you would see or have to pay for. We're actually about to watch a short video actually taking us through that new athletic facility. So here we go. think the athletic department added Bridgeway to the end of their video because I think they like to show that our athletes always have a good place to get some grub. So, so tuition and fees. As Wisconsin residents, you guys would be spending just over $15,000 per year to go to school at Platteville. That sticker price, I can guarantee you, is one of the more cost competitive and affordable prices in this region from a four-year school standpoint, okay? That $15,000 sticker price includes everything. It includes your tuition and fees, your meal plan, your res hall. It also includes your books. You do not have to pay for books here at Platteville. The average four-year student saves anywhere between $4,000 to $5,000 over the course of their academic career, not having to pay for books. We rent them. So you rent them out at the beginning of the semester, take your course, and then turn them back in at the end of the semester. Okay. Other things included in your tuition and fees, the athletic facilities, like I said, complete access to those with your student ID. Essentially 95 to 99% of all on-campus events you have free access to with your student ID, all home sporting events. The shuttle that's on campus goes all over campus, as well as all over town, including Walmart, the grocery store, gas stations, the movie theater, the bowling alley, McDonald's, Taco Bell, essentially everywhere a college student would want to go. Also, the Career and Professional Development Office on campus. So one of the things that the Career Professional Development Office does on campus is that they actually host the two really large career fairs on campus every year, one each semester. So one each semester, where we have anywhere between 400 to 600 employers on our campus at one point in time, talking to students, taking resumes, giving impromptu interviews, offering summer internships to students, as well as offering jobs to students who are getting ready to graduate at the end of that semester. Okay. So that is a huge reason why 90% of our students participate in at least one internship or co-op during their academic experience here at Platteville. And then that also leads to us being the #1 public institution in the country for getting a job after college. That article came out 2 months ago. So we're really proud about that, okay? And then on top of that, as you can see in the top right-hand corner, we are the best value school, college ROI report in 2020, the #1 school, #1 ROI school in the state of Wisconsin, top 20 in the country. So that means that's your return on investment. So that means that the amount of money that you're spending to go to school at Platteville versus the amount of money that you're spending, that you're gonna make once you graduate and get that first big boy or big girl job, huge difference. The average starting salary for a Platteville graduate is upwards of $54,000 right out of college. That's a lot of money for a 22, 23-year-old, and not a whole lot of student loans to pay back, if any at all. Any questions about tuition? Or I guess you guys are putting them in the chat so we can get to those at the end. Sorry, that's typically where I stop and ask questions during my.
I can still stop and take a question break in case anybody has any.
Okay.
Did anybody have any questions on tuition or anything about that? Or anything that Rob's talked about so far? Otherwise, we can do general questions at the end.
Okay, we can keep going. And I saw Judy mention something in the chat about financial aid, and that is super awesome. That they help you guys with that. I always recommend that students do not try to self-assess. I always recommend don't tell students not to self-assess and to tell their parents not to self-assess. The reason being is that there is no financial aid office in the country that can tell you what the average annual household income line is for receiving federal aid, okay? And it's a free application. There is no harm, no foul, okay? Fill it out. The worst that can happen is they say that you don't qualify, all right? So some scholarships. The Chancellor Scholarship is our most popular and most prestigious scholarship. that has its own application and it's a separate deadline from the rest of our scholarships. That is a full tuition and fees paid scholarship for 4 years. That deadline is December 31st of your senior year. Getting awarded that scholarship is heavily based on your essay portion of that scholarship application. Okay. The Alumni Legacy Scholarship, if you have a family member that graduated from UW-Platteville, fill out that scholarship application. Okay. The new freshman scholarships, there are well over 100 of them. There is no way I could sit here and rattle them all off to you. Okay. However, extremely easy process. One application. Fill out that application in its entirety, hit submit, and you will automatically be applied for every single scholarship you qualify for. Okay. The priority deadline for that scholarship is February 1st, and the final deadline for that scholarship is April 1st.
Rob, can I just interject? So if we have any seniors, December 31st would be for next fall already, right?
Say that one more time.
So like for any of the seniors that are on the line,
yes.
December 31st would be for next fall.
Yes. So so fill out the scholarship before this upcoming December 31st. Submit it. That way you are in the running to be awarded that scholarship for this upcoming fall 21.
Okay, so I know Harmony, I think this is one of your top schools you're looking at, so make sure you get that application done. And just note for any juniors, this is something you'll want to start thinking about October, November as you apply here, if this is one of the schools you want to go to.
At the end, what I'll do is I will post my You Can Book Me link in the chat, and you guys can just copy and paste that into a Word document or something like that. But what you can do with that link is schedule a one-on-one visit with me via Zoom or over the phone. And if any of you need application help or scholarship application help or just have questions about that process, feel free to schedule a half-hour session with me and we can talk that over. All of this scholarship information you can find at the link below, uwplatt.edu/paying-college. Okay. You guys are Wisconsin residents, and they have already talked about helping you out with your FAFSA, and that's huge. So the Pioneer Pledge, if you are a new incoming freshman and a Wisconsin resident, and you fill out the FAFSA application, and when you get your financial aid package back from us, if you are Pell eligible, meaning that the Pell grant shows up on your financial aid package, it automatically activates the Pioneer Pledge, which states that your Pell grant will go directly towards your tuition and fees. Okay, and whatever your Pell grant does not cover for your tuition and fees, UW-Platteville will cover the rest. All right, so then after that, all you have to worry about paying for is your res hall and your meal plan. All right, now theoretically, because your Pell grant is one of, let's say, 4 or 5 items on your financial aid package, that means that the other 3 or 4 items can go towards your res hall and your meal plan. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that could mean that you could end up going to Platteville for almost completely free. Okay.
I always, just to highlight that, Rob, sorry, but there's only a handful of colleges that offer things like this. I mean, like Madison and Parkside offer like free tuition to some of our low-income families. So, this is, I also always mention, this is, Platteville is one of the schools you should apply to because you may get free tuition if you're Pell Grant eligible. So I just really want to emphasize that. That's huge.
Yeah, that's big time. And so this year's freshman class that is currently on campus is the first class that has received any Pioneer Pledge students. So it is fairly new. So fill that out. If you qualify, Platteville could be a great place for you. So our admission guidelines. So in order to be considered for admission here at Platteville, you need to have completed 17 college prep units by the time you graduate high school. Don't worry about it. Typically, your high school curriculum covers all of that, but we like to go over it just in case there's a credit or two that you need to make sure that you get by the time you graduate. Just for vocabulary purposes, if you're on the block schedule where you take 4 to 5 classes a day, 1 unit, let's say, of an English class is 1 high school semester. If you're on the typical high school schedule where you take 8 to 9 classes a day, 1 unit of an English class is 1 entire school year. Okay, so you need 4 units of English, 3 units of math, algebra, geometry, or higher, 3 units of a social science, so that's like history, government, political science courses. That also includes psychology and sociology. You need 3 units of a natural science, 2 with lab experience. So typically in high school, students take biology and chemistry, both of which have a lab. And then you need 4 units that include courses from the above academic areas, foreign language, fine arts, computer science, or courses in the vocational areas. Okay. Foreign language. We do not have a foreign language requirement in order for you to be admitted or accepted to Platteville. We do not have a foreign language requirement, okay? However, we do have a graduation requirement in order for you to be, a foreign language requirement in order for you to graduate from Platteville, I mean. So that means that you will have to take some foreign language while you're a student here on campus, all right? Now, really quick, everybody give me a thumbs up if you have taken at least 2 consecutive years of the same foreign language in high school. For example, Spanish 1 and Spanish 2, or French 1 and French 2. Okay, cool. I was, perfect. So everybody who gave me a thumbs up or raised their hand or essentially has taken 2 consecutive years of the same foreign language, congratulations. You have automatically checked that box to graduate from Platteville. None of you will have to take any foreign language while you're a student here. If you have taken at least 2 consecutive years of the same foreign language in high school, you will not need to take any foreign language while you're a student at Platteville. All right, that was a huge monkey off of my back. I was super hyped. So go ahead, do the happy dance, whatever you need to do. If you are done taking foreign language. Okay. Oh, so along with those 17 college prep units, we will also have a very comprehensive review of all of your application materials. So that includes your application, your transcripts. We will look at your GPA. We will look at your class rank based on your GPA. We will look at your course rigor. So did you just try to skate by or do enough to just skate by, or did you try to push yourself by taking some honors classes, some AP courses, or some dual credit courses? Things like, did you take an extra science class even though you only needed 3 credits? Things like that. Your ACT or SAT scores, you guys are Wisconsin residents, so you probably took the ACT. We are test optional for the time being due to COVID-19, okay? What that means for you is this. If you were not able to take the ACT or weren't comfortable taking the ACT, that's okay. We will review your application materials without that and give you an admission decision, okay? With no penalty towards you. If you were able to take the ACT and you did, and you got your score back and you didn't like what you saw, and you felt like your score did not reflect well on you academically, and you felt like your score would not help you get admitted to Platteville, do not send it to us. Hold on to it, okay? If you got your ACT score back and you liked what you saw and you felt like your score reflected really well on you academically and you felt as though that score would help you get admitted to Platteville, go ahead and send that score to us, okay? So it's completely up to you, all right? So along with that, the application process, we are a part of the UW system, so we use the UW system application. You see the application link down below, apply.wisconsin.edu, or just go to our website, UW-Platt.edu. On our homepage in the top right-hand corner, you will see the apply button highlighted in orange. That'll take you directly to that website. All right. There is a $25 application fee. It's typically $50, but due to COVID-19, we know that there are a lot of families that are going through some a stressful financial situation right now. So we're trying to do our part to alleviate that. Also, we are running a promotion where the UW-Platteville Foundation office will actually pay for your application fee as long as you apply and submit your application before October 31st. So you guys have 16 days. If
Rob,
you
I
have
just
not
want to,
filled out your application for UW-Platteville, go
Rob,
ahead.
so all upward bound students actually get a waiver through the UW system. So when you guys apply to any
Awesome.
UW school, at the end there's a question about fee waivers, and you would click yes, I qualify for one. And then there's an option to check that you are an upward bound. So you guys get to apply to all UW schools for free.
That is awesome. Do that. Absolutely do that. Okay, so along with that, we will need your high school transcripts. As a high school senior, your transcripts are official ongoing, or throughout high school, your transcripts are official ongoing. They don't become official completed until you actually cross the stage and graduate at the end of your senior year. Typical admission process for any institution across the country, you're filling out college applications early throughout the summer before your senior year, as well as early in the fall of your senior year, okay? And you will be sending out your high school transcripts up to that point to all of those institutions that you're filling out college applications for, okay? At the end of your senior year, once you graduate, you will then need to send your completed college applications to whatever institution you have decided to attend that next fall. Keeping my fingers crossed that it's Platteville, okay? Now, what you would need to do is essentially just get in contact with your high school counselor and have him or her send your high school transcripts to UW-Platteville, okay? As well as if any of you are taking any dual credit courses, so any courses through a local 2-year or 4-year institution that's giving you both high school and college credit for that course, you will need to get your transcripts from that registrar's office. Just call that registrar's office for that institution, request to have your transcripts sent to Platteville, okay? That's the only way that we can give you credit for those college courses that you, or that's the only way we can give you college credit for those courses that you took, okay? Any questions about the application process or the admission requirements? Cool, I think we're good. Well, that's all I have for our admission presentation. And I don't know if my student has logged on yet, so I will give her some more time.
I see 2 new people that joined, Andrew Francis.
Oh, yeah, that's one of my students.
And Kamira.
Oh, yep, Cam, she's here. Perfect, awesome. So what we can do is, Cam and Drew are 2 of my students here at UW-Platteville, and we are just going to have a small student panel. So you guys can ask any question that you would like of some current students here at UW-Platteville. Cam and Drew, are you guys there?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here too.
Perfect. So, okay, AJ said, how do you, okay, military transfers. What we would do, AJ, is actually get you in contact with our Veterans Affairs office, and the staff within that office will be able to actually help you navigate that much easier. That way you can also get the process rolling with the GI Bill as well. That way you can get your tuition paid for, so on and so forth. So we can get you that information. And when I give you my contact information, I'll make sure you have my email so that you can email me directly about that, and we can get you in contact with that office. How does that sound? And then somebody else, do you have to have a dorm or meal plan in your first year? Yes, you do have to live on campus your freshman and sophomore year. And while living in the res hall, you do have to have a meal plan. And I think I will let Drew and Cam answer the rest of the questions to the best of their ability, and I'll try to help if there's a question that they can't answer.
All right, guys, if you want, you can put some of your questions in the chat that I had you write down earlier. I'm sure some of them got answered, but I'm sure there's some that did not. So what's your favorite part about UW-Platteville? I don't know if the two students want to take turns answering.
It's however Drew wants to do it. Personally, I think one of my favorite parts about Platteville is like how cheap it is. If I'm going to be honest, I haven't had to take out any loans yet to pay for my tuition, which is great. But I also love like the small community feel that we have at the school, not just the school, but like basically the whole Platteville area. You know, you can pretty much walk to wherever you need to get, or people are really friendly here, like they'll give you a ride. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Cam with that. It's definitely one of the cheaper schools. So like for instance, if you want like an engineering degree, you're pretty much getting like a Division 1, type education, Division 1 feel for like education wise, just because, Platteville is probably, I'm pretty sure the poll came out this past spring, but it's one of the most higher, like our students are one of the most hired in the nation. So it's pretty much an investment. As soon as you like enroll into the school, you'll see that. And then also the teachers are just very hands-on. So most of my classes, they're about 15 to 30 kids. So it's almost like a high school feel. So, the professors, they interact with you. Whereas if you go to UW-Madison, you're most likely going to interact with the teaching assistant. So that's like two of the main things with me.
There's another question. In the presentation, it said there was 8,000 students. Does it feel crowded or very busy all the time?
To be honest, not at all. Not at all. I actually work as a resident assistant on campus. So basically that's like an RA. So I just live in the residence halls and I like basically take care of the wing or whatever they need done around the hall. And to be honest with you guys, we have some wings on campus that'll get shut down because they don't have enough people living in them. So it's not crowded at all. Like, it's like you'll see new people here every day that you think you've never seen them before.
And AJ has another question, but I wanted to interject one too. Would you both mind sharing what did we say what majors you guys are doing?
So my major is in industrial technology management. Mine is in entrepreneurship and then control systems.
Could you tell us a little bit about that program? Just so to spark some interest to maybe some of our students.
Yeah, so the ITM program, it's like very, very broad, but essentially, the goal of that program is to transform you into either manufacturing engineer, process engineer, or some type of like production supervisor role. So essentially, they'll give you lots of different information on, metal casting, plastic processing, different like CAD and drafting stuff. So essentially, it's mechanical engineering with less math, more of a hands-on type of feel. So if you like, anything with technology, it's definitely something to go into.
Thank you. Cam, you were going to say something too?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a political science major here on campus, and then I also have a minor in French and another minor in international studies. So, yeah, that's my background.
Awesome, thank you. Political science, that sounds interesting, probably right now too, with the election going on and the Supreme Court and all that kind of stuff. So we have another question from AJ. How are the communities there on campus and what types are there? And I don't know if AJ, you want to be more specific.
Are you referring to like the demographic of everything?
I think he is.
I mean, well, as far as demographic, Platteville in general, it's without the college, it's predominantly a white town. It is, it's a lot of farmland, obviously, rural area. But over the past few years, since I've been here, there's been a lot of minorities that have been coming in, whether it's through academic programs or even sports as well. So sports is the main thing of like how everything's getting recruited here. So yeah, it's definitely changing as far as diversity goes.
Awesome. And I know
Yeah, diversity is had over the last 10 years has grown like almost over 10%, or not over 10%. I think it has grown from 1 to 2% to just over 8% now. I think the average diversity percentage across the UW system is 8 to 10%. Obviously, with Madison and UW Milwaukee and UW Parkside being on the outliers with the most diversity, but we're right on par with between 8.5 to 9% diversity on our campus, and we're consistently growing. So.
And also, just to add too, I know some of our students, when we get to go there in person, we do have students on the in the LGBT community, and actually some on the call here tonight. So I don't know if anyone could speak on that, if there's any services for those types of students, and then I'll move on and answer some of the other, or ask some of the other questions that students typed.
Actually, I think I can speak to the LGBT community. We do have some resources on campus. One of them I can particularly recall right now is the Doyle Center. So it's basically like a hangout spot for anybody who's in that community. They also have like LGBTQ plus counselors and advisors in that area that can help you with like whatever you're going through.
All right, and then it looked like Joe asked what's the percentage of getting accepted, and Rob answered that they have a 90% acceptance rate. And then Harmony is asking, what's the criminal justice program like there? Harmony is one of our seniors that is looking at Platteville.
We actually, are you a CJ major, Cam?
I am not.
Oh. Did you have something to say about the CJ program? Well, our criminal justice program is actually is the best criminal justice program in the state of Wisconsin. One of the, if not the best criminal justice program in this region or the Midwest. We actually have our own fish house, and we're the only program who has something like that. I believe we're in this region, but I think we may be like one of 2 or 3 in the country as an undergraduate program who has something like this. So the Fish House is our crime scene investigation house. So our CJ and our criminal justice and forensic investigation majors actually get a chance or use that throughout their academic career, doing different projects. One of the classes they do a big murder scene project. Where the professors go in with pig's blood, they mess the place up, they do some chalk outlines of bodies, put fingerprints in different places. So then the students in that class actually get a chance to go in, break down, and dissect that murder scene. And that's really cool. And then I'm pretty sure they do it around Halloween, typically in the fall semester. So then after they're done with it, they actually turn it into a little bit of a haunted house for the students and faculty and staff and community to kind of go through during that time of the year. So that's pretty cool. Ken asked about the job placement rate. So I don't know exactly what the job placement rate is. I do believe it's upwards of like 75%, 75, 80%. But we are the number one public institution in the country for getting a job after college. So our graduates are fairly sought after. Yes, Jojo, we do have our own farm on campus.
I also want to go back to one of the other questions. So Melody asked about AP credits, and Rob answered yes, they do take those. So when you guys apply on your UW application, there's a spot to indicate that you took some AP credits. And when you're in Upward Bound, the seniors will sit down and help you fill out your apps too. And then Caleb, with the careers, Caleb, is there any? Caleb asked what type of careers are common at Platteville. Caleb, do you have any specific areas of interest in majors? And we'll let him answer that. He's not sure. Okay. I know this isn't the only major Platteville has, but I know like if any of our students are interested in engineering, this is one of the schools I send them to because it's one of the few UW schools that offer different engineering programs, but obviously that's not the only program or programs that are out there. So I don't want to highlight some of your top programs again, Rob.
Yeah, so the top majors are agriculture, biology, criminal justice, engineering, industrial technology, and education. So I know AJ said engineering, or what is it, a major or a minor? We have multiple majors within the engineering department, including civil engineering, mechanical engineering. Actually, I have my people. I don't have to guess. All right, so we have civil engineering. We also supplement chemical engineering with our chemistry department, electrical engineering, engineering physics, environmental engineering, industrial engineering, mechanical engineering, software, as well as software engineering. So those are all of our engineering majors within, and then also even more minors and emphasis within that program. We're a big STEM school, so science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We do have programs for students who want to get into the medical field. We have a pre-medical program as well as a pre-nursing professional program. Both of those programs will be housed under our biology department and our biology program, which is one of our top programs on campus as well. We actually have our own cadaver lab. We're the only school in this region with our own our only undergraduate institution with our own cadaver lab. And we're the only campus with our own cadaver lab that's not attached to a hospital. We do have theater on campus as well. We also have our own Center for the Arts building on campus.
There was also a question about journalism. Is that a popular major or minor? Or maybe writing or anything like that?
We do have English. Writing specifically, I don't think we have. But we do have professional writing, so that would be journalism. Where did I see that?
see there's like a media studies program that you guys have. I kind of Googled it too. That might be similar. So I know a lot of majors are sometimes named different, or you can get the same kind of experience in
Oh
certain
yeah,
majors like communications or writing or
yeah. So
media, things like that.
we have an English major with and then within that program there's English education, literature, as well as professional writing. So we do have a professional writing program, which journalism would fall under.
There's also 6 new majors. I don't know them off the top of my head, but Rob, do you know what I'm talking about? Because I think you
Uh,
sent an email about it. I'm not sure.
so we added, I talked about it in the presentation, we added a bunch of new majors within the School of Business, as well as construction management, added an emphasis within that program, biomedical engineering emphasis within the mechanical engineering program. Those are some of the new ones. Environmental science conservation, we added.
Okay.
Oh, cybersecurity as well as data science. Cam or Drew, do you want to talk about some of the student support services that are offered? Maybe academic support like tutoring and things like that? And then really quick, I can just talk about the fine art majors we have are art education, graphic design, studio art, and theater.
Yeah, I guess I could talk about some of the student support programs. We actually have a couple of really great programs. We have TRIO/SSS, which is basically like a government funded program, and it just, I don't know, it just helps either students of color or first generation college students with like basically almost anything you need here on campus. These people will help you find scholarships. They will help you with your picking out classes. They will help you with anything if you ask them. They are the nicest people on this campus. There is also well, you get a regular advisor depending on which program you're in anyway. So if you're like an engineering major, you'll get like an engineering advisor or whatever. But like, I don't know, it can just be like an extra set of advisors to help you with whatever you have going on. We also have an Office of Multicultural Student Affairs, which is fantastic. It's like I don't know, it's just like a place where you can, I don't know, it's like a place where you can go to be with like-minded individuals, people who come from the same background as you do, people who come from like the same social status as you. It's really,
OMSA is the place that you can go to just be you.
that exactly. Yeah, I'm literally in there 24/7. You know, um, so if you do end up coming to Platteville, just make sure that you check those places out. If you're actually really interested in Platteville, I would also suggest to getting in contact with Rob about coming, joining our Succeed program, which is basically a program where you can come to this campus a few weeks early and they'll help you with your schedule, they'll help you get registered, and they'll actually help you start some of your classes early, they'll help you move in early. It's, they just take care of you before everybody else gets here and kind of get you used to the college life before everybody else, comes in and it gets busier. So, yeah.
Thanks, Cam, for talking about SSS. Actually, all of our students are TRIO Upward Bound participants here tonight. So if you guys are out, you guys will more than likely be eligible for SSS when you go to college. I always encourage you go to colleges that have an SSS program because they offer those extra services like we're doing here for you, but at the college level once you get there. So thank you, Cam, for mentioning that. That's super important to our Upward Bound students.
So if what we can do is, when fingers crossed, when everything opens back up, whenever we in the future have an upper bound group, especially you guys, we can make sure that as well as having an OMSA portion, we bring in Trio as well to talk to the students about how to easily make that transition and make that connection with that office.
That would be wonderful, and we know some of our colleagues from Trio there, so
Okay.
that would be nice to be in touch with them. And yeah, you guys, I wish we could be at Platteville in person. I know it would be so much cooler to see the campus in person, but we're doing the best we can virtually right now. So,
Yeah.
and then
With
Joe
that
asked about
being
some
said,
sports.
So I threw that in there. Yes, you technically have to try out, even students that are recruited, but our athletic programs are run pretty much like Division I programs, so the majority of all of our athletes are recruited. But yes, you can still try out and make the team if you are good enough. The best way to make a team or get information on how to try out if you are not recruited by our at one of our athletic programs is to get in contact with either the head coach or one of the assistant coaches via email or phone call. Make sure you send them some film, but continue to email them and call them until you get an answer as far as when and where you can try out and things like that. And I know that we are supposed to, get out of here around 7:15. I do still have an OMSA presentation that I want to run through that has all of those services available to students. And AJ, do you have something specific in mind? Because yes, we have 17 NCAA varsity sports, but then we also have club sports as well as intramurals. So what sport were you specifically talking about? And while he types that, I will put up the OMSA presentation. And but before we get out of here, Drew, Cam, thank you both so much for coming in for the student panel. Your input was much appreciated. But you can go ahead and get back to the rest of your evening and have a great 3-day weekend. Stay safe.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Thanks. See you guys.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, so I need this one. So AJ, yes, we have. Yes, we have a club hockey team. Ice skating, we do not, but it would not be hard to start a competitive ice skating team as we are fairly close to Dubuque. And so that's where our club hockey team plays, at the Dubuque Fighting Saints, where they play their hockey games. Actually, was there another question in the chat?
Somebody asked about art majors.
We do have art. So within fine art is general art, art education, graphic design, studio art, and theater. And then men's volleyball. We do have a men's volleyball club team. We have track and field. So we don't have a swim team. I believe there's a swim club, and we also have a pool on campus that within our athletic facility that you do have access to. Okay, so back to this. Okay, can you guys see the PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Okay, so Office of Multicultural Student Affairs. So their mission statement, the mission of the Office of Multicultural Student Affairs is to support retention and academic attainment for African American, Native American, Latinx, Hispanic, and Asian students. Our goal is to help these underrepresented minority students successfully navigate higher education, seek leadership opportunities, and prepare for the professional and educational futures. UMSA serves pre-college and college undergraduate students with youth outreach programming, leadership development, college advising, and programmatic services. So within the UMSA office, you will meet with an auxiliary advisor, become more involved on campus, and within our office, learn about various scholarships, internships, resume building opportunities, meet other students on campus, and join the UMSA community. Get assistance in finding out what resources on campus can be most beneficial to you, and help get answers to any other random questions that you may have during your college experience. Okay, here is our UMSA staff. Samantha Lopez is one of our multicultural advisors. Corey Young is a multicultural advisor. Carlo Wages is a multicultural advisor. Samantha Lopez is actually a UW-Platteville graduate. We went to school here together. Tristan King is our new assistant director of UMSA. Brittany Sherman is our Office of UMSA administrative assistant. And then Carrie Hill is the executive director of UMSA and the Diversity and Inclusion Office. And then Brenda Gomez Salas is our Hispanic outreach specialist. So I work a lot with her, with me being the multicultural outreach specialist. So Hispanic outreach, like I said, Brenda Gomez Salas is our Hispanic outreach specialist. She is focusing on building relationships within the communities, assessing the needs of the communities, and increasing their pipeline to education and educational resources. Excuse me. Creating collaborative English as a second language ESL programs within the College of Liberal Arts and Education on campus. So that is a brand new program that she is helping to build on campus. So I think that's super dope. So student programming within the Office of Multicultural Student Affairs, they believe in opportunity, inclusivity, and individuality. We create social and cultural programs that give students an opportunity to learn, have fun, express themselves, and create a sense of community. All are welcome here. Come have fun with us. So throughout the semester, UMSA puts on a lot of programs, whether it be cookouts, whether it be bingo, whether it be Kahoot nights, things like that, card tournaments. They had a poetry and spoken word night a couple weeks ago. Ebony Weekend is another big event that they have every year. I think they also have through that office the Hmong Club and Asia Club, Asian Students in Action. They host or they do an egg roll sale every year, which is super dope. Like my first time getting those egg rolls was this last school year. And I'm pissed that I didn't get enough. And they also do a huge multicultural dinner every year where they bring in just all of the different ethnicities within the UMSA office. And they essentially have a huge potluck. And I think that that's super dope because you get a chance to taste a lot of different food cultures and things like that. And I think that that's really cool. I'm a foodie, so. So student resources and opportunities. So some of the things that they, get their students to participate in within the UMSA office is the Wisconsin Leadership Summit, graduate school conferences, Latinx Leadership Conference, Ebony Weekend, Overture events, Dubuque Manhood Project, MKE Fellows, Milwaukee Fellows, UMSA Student of the Year Award, and Student Leadership Awards. Okay. Some student resources that are available to our students are the UW System Lawton Grant. So that's a grant that is for underrepresented minority students. Pioneers Helping Pioneers Emergency Grant. That was a huge grant that students were able to utilize throughout this pandemic when they were struggling throughout this summer financially. They were able to apply for that grant to get some money to help offset some of those those stressful financial situations that a lot of students and families were getting into. They also have a lot of their Staff members are part of scholarship committees and programs, including the New Freshman Scholarship Committee, Continuing Student Scholarship Committee, Chancellor Scholars Committee, and other departmental committees. So some of these programs that I'm going to talk about next do directly pertain to some of you, especially some of you who are of junior status in high school and younger. So we do have pre-college programs. First and foremost, our full STEAM program, our pre-college academy, and STEM discovery. Okay, so I'll get into those individually here. Full STEAM, science, technology, engineering, agriculture, and math is a 3-day residential program for middle school students, 6th through 8th grade, and features hands-on projects and a selected STEM discipline. So that's really cool for middle school students to get away from home and experience something new for a couple days. Okay, so if you have a little brother or sister or a younger cousin or something like that, tell them about the full STEAM program. I'm sure that they would be super happy to get a chance to participate in that. They live in the res halls, they eat the food, they take some classes, we do some different outside projects and things with them. So it's really cool, and they get a chance to hang out with some other kids their age from different parts of the state of Wisconsin, as well as Iowa and Illinois. Pre-College Academy is a 2-week residential program for high school students, 9th through rising 12th graders, actually. It is a college prep program. They'll experience academic disciplines across our 3 colleges in 8 to 10 different subject areas. And then we also do some personal and identity development, okay? So in the picture in the bottom right is our students in the Student Center on campus, okay? One of the things that we actually do with them is we take them to Dubuque and we go to a mystery dinner, a murder mystery dinner, which was really cool. We also, we went to the movies. We took them into the gym a couple nights a week as well to run off some steam. They were taking a history and class, accounting class. They took a chemistry class as well as they did some personal and emotional development. So it was a full 2 weeks, capped off with an award ceremony and a big social. So it's a lot of fun. Once again, living in the res halls, eating the food, like I said, taking some classes, and doing a lot of different activities. And then the STEM Discovery Program, that is a 1-week residential program for high school students, again, 9th through rising 12th graders. They do a ton of hands-on projects. They get exposure to different STEM fields, so on and so forth. So very, very similar to pre-college. The biggest difference is that it's 1 week instead of 2 weeks. And from the academic subject matter standpoint, it is all STEM related subjects. Okay. And then last but not least, Succeed. That is not one of our pre-college programs. That is actually one of our summer bridge programs. It is an awesome program. One of my basketball players participated in that program, and ever since he has been part of it, I am a true believer. That is one of the coolest programs I think that we have on campus. So it is run by Trio, so essentially our version of Upward Bound. So they offer a summer bridge opportunity, Succeed, for incoming students in conjunction with the Office of Multicultural Student Affairs. It is a residential program that starts 3 weeks before classes. So essentially, to qualify, you have to be a new incoming freshman to UW-Platteville to participate in this program. So you would start school early, about almost a full month before everybody else starts. While attending Succeed, students will live on campus in the same residence hall that they will be living in for the academic year. Students will enroll and start 3 required courses during this program. A first-year experience course, a public speaking course, and a fitness assessment course. Also included during the program are math workshops, writing skill enhancement workshops, and a variety of other opportunities to help students prepare and adjust to college life. They do a lot of community engagement and building activities. So that was one of the really cool things that I thought, was really cool about the program, is that they actually take their students to different parts of the community, not only the Platteville community, but the surrounding communities, as well as across the bridge to Dubuque, just to experience what all of these different communities have to offer, different activities that they can participate in all of those communities as well. Okay. So that is the contact information for our OMSA office. If you guys have any other questions or would like to sign up for Succeed, feel free to email the OMSA office, omsa@uwplatt.edu, and they will certainly get back to you with more information on how to apply for those pre-college summer programs. Okay. Well, that was a lot, and I am 1 minute over, so I don't want to take any more of your time. JoJo, I'll put it in here, OMSA at UW-Platteville.
Yeah, so everybody give a thumbs up for Rob for coming. That was an awesome presentation. Hopefully you guys found something useful, and we'll have to get on campus there sometime soon. You know, and if it's not a school you don't like, I always say it's still good because you narrowed one school down that you don't want to go to, but it does seem like a pretty awesome place. So, and I'm sure you guys would think so too. So we do have school visits at 8 o'clock tonight for those of you that are in the northern schools, Tomahawk, Eagle River, Minocqua areas. And so if you didn't come at 4 today, you can see me. I'm filling in for Jessica at 8 o'clock. So it's been a really long day, but we still got more to go.
I posted my You Can Book Me link in there as well. Feel free to schedule a one-on-one meeting with me if you guys have more questions or want to talk about something more specifically, as well as I added that OMSA email to in the chat as well. Feel free to take that down if you guys want to get more information about signing up for one of our pre-college summer programs, or if you are looking to be a new incoming freshman for the next